What is going on, everyone? Chase from the Ridiculous Crew here. So I finally finished Throne of Glass. So it was on my shelf for literally years, and I just never got around to it. Hence, this Kingdom of Ash is like my whole series is just out of print covers where I've just had it on my shelf for years and never got around to it. I never really dove into Sarah J. Maas before, so I wanted to see what the hype was about. This will be just kind of quick, spoiler-free review of the series overall, and then I'll put a more in-depth take on it on our YouTube channel, so you can follow me there. Thoughts overall, right? I thought it was a fantastic series. I mean, Sarah J. Maas and her world building is absolutely top tier, and I'm a huge A Song of Ice and Fire fan. I'm a Brandon Sanderson junkie with the Stormlight Archive. You got to give Sarah J. Maas where credit is due, because her ability to build worlds is phenomenal. I'll say her growth she takes, I mean, you can tell she was really young writing the first one. Her growth she takes from Throne of Glass to Kingdom of Ash is just absolutely fantastic. With that being said, I really liked Throne of Glass, the original one too, because it kind of had more of like a Harry Potter element with, you know, some of the creatures that are discovered in there and the tournament that she's in, until, you know, as it goes throughout the entire series to where this entire war breaks out. And it's very kind of similar to A Song of Ice and Fire in a way. So pros and cons, I'll say. So the pros, I would say, is definitely the world building. Some of the characters are absolutely phenomenal. Believe it or not, my favorite character was Manon Blackbeak, and then next was Chaol, and those are two surprising ones. I didn't connect as much with Celaena Sardothien, aka Aelin. I just didn't like her as much as a character with some of the arcs she goes through. I really enjoyed Rowan and her arc with that, but I connected more with Manon and Chaol for two reasons. So Manon, the entire army she kind of builds from the ground up is fantastic. And, you know, I'm a huge dragon fan, so the wyverns in here with the Abraxos was awesome. Chaol, you know, unpopular opinion here, one of my favorite books in the series is Tower of Dawn. And I really liked it because, you know, he basically loses everything. Like, he loses his health. You know, he started, you know, really at the top and had everything stripped from him, and then comes back and everything's full circle, right? And he develops his relationship with Yrene and has to go seek out the Torre Chesme, which almost seemed like an impossible task to get back to where he is at the end of the series. So I really connected with those two characters, which are kind of unpopular opinions because most people connect with like Aelin or Rowan or Dorian. Favorite book in the series has got to be Queen of Shadows, and then next to that I actually did like Tower of Dawn a lot. I just went straight into the Throne of Glass series, so that's not a popular way to do it either, but trust me, you're not going to miss anything if you do. Yes, I do know. I actually, this is the first series I read in the Sarah J. Maas series, and I'm on ACOTAR now, and yes, I knew right away in the scene something was going on during that one scene, spoiler alert, where Aelin is finding other universes, and we see the two characters from ACOTAR. I'm reading ACOTAR now, but when it was happening and I was reading that, I knew something was going on there. So you should be able to catch it, but even if you want to just dive in and read it, you're really not missing anything, even though a lot of people don't do it that way. As far as the reading order for the series, I read it by reading Assassin's Blade fourth. Assassin's Blade, you know, I know some people read it first or second. First, it will give you a little bit more of the backstory on Aelin and where she came from and her experience, so that might prepare you a little bit more. Emotionally, I thought it was better to read it fourth just because it had more of an emotional impact with characters, but that was just kind of the way I decided to do it. Kingdom of Ash, in my opinion, are one of the best battles. Also, Empire of Storms, you know, the battle at the end there, I'm always kind of more of a Empire Strikes Back kind of person. So I like that battle too a lot. Some cons to make this quick. I think I overhyped it in my mind because I'm such of a Song of Ice and Fire fan. Definitely see comparisons to A Song of Ice and Fire and Brandon Sanderson, and definitely a little bit of Harry Potter elements there too. I mean, there's even a part in this series where Aelin is referred to as the princess that was promised. I mean, I don't know if that was just a coincidence, just saying we've seen a rendition of that somewhere else. You might know, especially if you follow me on this channel. Some parts can be a little bit slow, and I do think even though the final battle, absolutely fantastic, some of the stuff with like Maeve's abilities and things that happen throughout the book were kind of predictable, in my opinion, with dreams. It's kind of sad to see, you know, the first relationship, not to give anything away, that Aelin has kind of be thrown to the wolves a little bit. No ACOTAR pun intended. I did like that big arc she kind of went on with Rowan. So just some things took turns that I didn't expect, that maybe I expected more of in some way. But overall, the series was absolutely phenomenal. It took me a while to get through it because I kind of read it at my leisure, and it's been on my shelf for a long time. But I got to give props to Sarah J. Maas. Definitely one of the top fantasy writers in the game right now. And this is coming from a huge George R.R. Martin fan and a huge Tolkien fan. So, I mean, you got to give credit where credit is due. But what were your thoughts on Throne of Glass? Let me know, and let me know your thoughts on the Sarah J. Maas universe as a whole.